have had like a 2-week filming hiatus. I was gone for a week in Vegas, which that was a great week. Team building, Olympia week. We had a big activation going on at the expo. That all went really well. And then last week kind of was just like a big week of catch up for me. So it's Tuesday morning, 21st. Few things going on today, kind of some big things that I wanted to have you guys involved in. First thing this morning, I'm going to jump on a call with our gel manufacturer and our whole team and basically lay out for you everything that's been going on with the gel. So hopefully I'm going to explain the process today and what we've been going through, but come to a solution today on that. And then also all the Amazon calls that you guys have seen me have on a weekly basis, explaining on a weekly basis, that team is in-house today. So we're basically going to be doing our review as well as our 2026 planning, and I wanted to bring you guys in on that fully. So essentially, gel conversation, big decision making, move forward with that, and then going into Amazon meetings the rest of the day, which I felt were two pretty key, crucial things. So as we go through this today, I'll obviously kind of break things down and explain further, but we're going to jump into it. And again, I just wanted to bring you guys through kind of the most important things that are going on from my aspect of the business on a day-to-day basis right now. Okay, so to preface you guys on this conversation, this company it's a manufacturer in the UK, and the reason why we use them, and just to kind of bring you guys into the story fully. So our food science team, they fully developed the gel. And when they developed the gel, we were initially working with a company, a manufacturer here in the US, but the problem with the US is that the packaging in the US is a 4-seal system. So this is, just for an example, this is a sample prototype package. This is not the package that we're going to go with, but what we don't like about US packaging is that it's cumbersome in the sense that it takes up extra space. So the US manufacturer nailed the internal components of the gel. We were super happy with it, but we weren't happy with what they could do from a packaging standpoint. And as an example, as you guys will see here, this is a 2-seal gel. So there's a seal at the top, seal at the bottom, and then there's no extra seals on the side. So the next step in this process is, because we felt like we couldn't bring the consumer-facing packaging that we wanted to bring, we took the gel that initially was formulated from PTM, then we also took the sample from the manufacturer in the US, and we sent it to a manufacturer in the UK to replicate. This was the final approval. Again, don't worry about this packaging, but the internal components, final approval, and you guys can like hear it. It's a gel. It literally, and when you shake it, it's like a gel. So this is what we approved from manufacturing. And again, the reason why we went with them is so that we could get a sleek package like this. It wasn't a 4-seal. But then when we got the final package and the final product, you guys can hear this. It's fully liquid, okay? So obviously something went wrong during that final stage of manufacturing. Now, to say that as well, we got this and we immediately sent it out for testing, just to make sure from a testing standpoint the macronutrients were correct. That passed testing. And then we've also sent it out to our own high-level professional athletes, endurance athletes, as well as just some friends of ours within the space. There's been a lot of positive feedback on this gel, but the thing that's in question right now is what happened and what changed from final spec sample that we approved to now a gel that is a lot more liquid and a lot less gelatin than what we desired. So that is what we're going through on the call today, and some issues that have arisen through this process that we're trying to work through. So essentially, that's where we're at with the gel. That's why we haven't yet released a gel, because we've been working through all these things. It's so important to us as a company, to me personally, as this has been a project of mine, that we come out with the best product from the start and something that you guys will truly want to utilize. So that's the conversation that we're going to go into now. Hello.
Hi, Matt.
How are y'all?
Yeah, good, thanks. How are you?
Good. Start off and jump into this. There might be some confusion or misunderstanding on y'all's side, and that might be our fault. The main reason why we want to have this call, and the main reason why we're asking about the formulation and things of that nature, is because our finished product that we got and our final spec sample that we approved are not the same. So really what we were trying to do is just simply on the back end, just understand if there's maybe any minor ingredient changes or things of that nature, because I have everything in front of me here, but like this is the final approved extra guard sample, which is a gel. And then obviously you guys have, I think, 90,000 of these in-house. If you'll feel this, it's a full liquid. So something in this did not fully set and turn into a gel, but this is just a true, I mean, it's water. So that really, ultimately, that is what we are trying to do, is just kind of go through our due diligence on our side to see, like, hey, like, what happened? Maybe a different ingredient was used, maybe a different form of gelatin was used. And we were just trying to go through it internally. There is nothing about this conversation where we want to go a different direction or anything like that. Ultimately, we were just trying to understand what happened between this final approved spec that we were super happy with, and then again how this turned into like a full liquid. And obviously, as you guys also saw, like, we are ready to move forward with a caffeinated gel, and we honestly want to launch both at the same time, you know. So really, it's just about like figuring out what went wrong here, getting back to what the original intent of the gel was, and then moving forward with multiple gels flavored next, and, you know, continuing to go with it. We just want to get this initial issue resolved. I honestly, I have a meeting from now until 2 p.m. our time. So maybe you guys talk internally, and then we can go forward from there.
Yeah.
All right?
Sounds good, yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Great. Thanks,
All
everyone.
right. Thanks so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah, good speaking.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
All right. So no solution there yet. But, I can honestly say, guys, so obviously Dom and I started supplements in 2019. This has been the hardest single manufacturing, bringing a product to the market that I've ever been a part of. And this is why Dom brought me on initially, was for formulation, innovation, things of that nature. So it's been a challenge. But we also talked to another manufacturing friend that's truly just a friend of ours, and he said that this is a common thing to go from a sample size to a full production run, that the consistency of these gels changes, and that's why in his model he's actually removing himself from the endurance gel space because of the challenges that are presented when you go from a small sample size to a full production run. So anyway, that's that. We're going to jump into Amazon now, and then obviously I'll continue to keep you guys posted as this conversation continues to unfold.
Too long, but it's not vendor, so there's no chargebacks.
True.
And the units aren't at Amazon. The total A cost has only increased by about 130%. Is that there was a ton of untapped potential with that ad spend that we're still trending at what is, considered, at least across the brands that we work with, below 15% is pretty low. And we've still been able to drive that growth with that increase, just with how much we've been able to unlock the buy box.
About 25% total?
25% total of the,
yeah.
So this is basically all of the products that didn't have any sales last year at all in 2024. And Essential launched in, I think it was October of last year. They took on a huge portion of the sales while the peach mango and the blue raspberry Essential were down in August, September. They were doing like 25,000 a week.
Okay.
Was I think what they peaked at. We're now with all of these other Essential crews back, I think they're typically around 18,000 a week or so per flavor, with sour watermelon and blue raspberry outperforming the citrus. Visibility, opportunity for conversion, but really from a market share standpoint, pre-workout is where we're, I think in September or October, we'll have to look at October, but September, we were like the second highest pre-workout brand. We edged out Gorilla Mind by about like 1/3%. So now it's just us behind C4, and we're the number 2 player in the space. If we can continue to drive, the revenue through Black Friday, Cyber Monday, we can start to chip away.
Our ROAS, I mean, because to a point, can we not scale based off of ROAS? More so?
Jonathan can speak to that better than I will, but I will say there's diminishing points of return on the ROAS side.
Right. I mean, if you push it too hard.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's why we have to lean into some of the other marketing initiatives and other things we're doing, so that we make sure that we can maintain that diminishing point as long as possible till we kind of fall off. But at the same time, we also have to be careful to look at just tacos and start looking at like CAC and LTV as our model matures, right? Like tacos model is something we're evolving past almost with the scale of your business, and we do want to start thinking about, okay, new versus repeat, our subscribe and save numbers, all of those things need to factor in. so that we start looking at it at a little bit of like a higher level type thing.
Do you guys have a model of what you suggest our spend
Yeah.
should be at?
Yeah, we could. I mean, we could.
Because let's visit them both. To me, everything you're saying right now is things that I was going to ask. Especially just like looking at what we did in fall prime, like
Yep.
in terms of spend. So
Exactly.
yeah, just show us what that growth will look like, and then
Yeah.
Which is general. I mean, we can even just shift the current forecast around a little bit because we have a heavy spend in January, February, March, and if we just push even a little bit more the budget that we have September,
Like I'm curious, like
September.
what would it look like at like 15% for the first 3 months?
Yeah.
You know, and then like as you pull it back to like the 22 in December, right? Like
Yeah.
I just feel like if we could throw all of it at one time, we might have ended up with a better result.
we just got in a new in-house video guy specifically for ads. So I want to connect you guys to make sure that we're getting all that to you in real time. We're doing like specific call to actions for D2C, but if you want call to actions for Amazon, or I don't know exactly, like just let us know and we can film that stuff.
Okay.
And then just really quick too, we still only have one flavor VA Plus on. Is that right?
It's just the watermelon grape. I think there's a new one that launched, but the other seasonal ones, I think it was the blueberry lemonade and raspberry lemonade were LTOs.
Okay.
But
There should be one on the new shipment.
is it pineapple, right?
I think so.
Yeah, I think it's pineapple's the new
Yeah.
shipment.
Okay.
And then
So we got.
I saw an email from I think Javi this morning that the old EAA extra ones are here.
Okay.
So we can still send those in. They're all varied. I don't think we'll really run any ads to them because we want people to buy the EAA
Yeah.
Plus. But it should still just to the incremental growth. Those ones without any ad spend, they were doing like 10K a week.
Okay.
Um,
All right, guys. So we just finished up the Amazon meetings, and again, I just wanted to bring you guys into that because that really is like the culmination of everything we've been working on so far. You guys are just seeing snapshots of me on a Zoom screen. The whole team was internal in-house today. I think some of the biggest things to learn from that, and really honestly, I just want to show appreciation to those of you guys that support us through our Amazon channel, is that our subscribe and save numbers have grown so much. And also one of the biggest metrics that we continue to monitor is what our drop off is. So not only is our subscribe and save growing almost at 100% year over year, but we're only having like anywhere from a 13 to a 20% drop off rate for our first order. So they receive the product, only 13 to 20% are dropping off, which honestly that's huge. That's way above what everybody else in our space is averaging. And then also, and something that I also appreciated in that meeting, that came out of that meeting, is that our Essential Performance line, which is a newer essential product that we came out with last year to kind of really tailor to the hybrid market, high rocks, endurance sports, endurance events, whereas you don't need that high caffeine consumption. That product line is really taking off on Amazon as well. So really we need to continue to be forward thinking with new flavors. On the Bum Energy side, one thing that we've implemented as of late is a variety pack specific to Amazon. That's doing really well, and our new customer acquisition within that variety pack is it's the only one over 50%. So we're acquiring more new customers with that variety pack than any other single flavor, because all the other single flavors for the most part you can get in a different channel. So I am continuing to learn. Obviously, I want to teach you guys things that I think are just kind of interesting to you, whether or not you have a business, whether or not you do anything with Amazon. So really, there's more of a trend within the category in terms of lower caffeine beverages, as well as lower to non-caffeinated supplements, i.e. our Essential Performance. And then on the Revive side, we're continuing to see just growth within categories that what we consider our essentials. So omega has been a huge driver for us this year. Magnesium glycinate is one of the highest searched keywords within the vitamin space on Amazon. That's been another driver that's been growing for us this year. And then also our hero SKUs, which continue to be our liver and kidney, are still the highest performers on Amazon's, which just again goes to show, it tells me that our consumers and those who have supported us from day one, that's continuing to happen on Amazon. So I just want to thank you guys for that.
I don't know that Matt and I get enough time with Kenny or with you, Natasha, and we just value so much of your experience, what you bring to the table in the scene, what you hear in and around the scene, and that like literally Matt knows this, like I've not had one interaction where I'm not like, these people are like such high quality humans. How did we get so lucky? And so I just wanted to create that like safe space in a small group to talk about what we can do better as a team to set us up for even more success in 2026. And then on Thursday, expand the session, go a little bit longer, talk a little bit more in detail.
The hands that we had available, I thought it went really well. Coffee shop went really well. Casey crushed it. She loved it. Like, it was mostly just us three that just like set at the coffee shop and everything else like that. So I thought that went really well.
Two, this was like, not for nothing, this is like a dry run for Kona next year where it'll be double the athletes, double the attention, double the people in Kona. And so, all the more reason to double down on having people there early, having somebody helping. So, yeah, I can feel like sifting through muck, but like, it's exactly the right feedback to have because it's going to be compounded next year.
You are to lead. Like, so I want to re-emphasize that and saying that like nothing has changed internally, nothing's changed between Sam and I, whereas that conversation has been directed at anything other than that. And I think at one point I encouraged you and said like you are the leader there. But like I also know there's a difference between like just avoiding conflict. So we just need to like reallocate those things. Just wrapped up an endurance call. We are again we're trending into Q4, planning really next year, planning our internal team, organizational structure, and then just how we're going to continue to impact and how we're going to bring the brand to new markets. Our big new plan for 2026 is going to be the marathon space, which obviously is heavily dependent on this gel. So if anything, the biggest current struggle is navigating and landing and bringing a gel to market that we're super proud of, and I don't want to stop until that comes to fruition. So that really is going to be something that continues to be at the forefront, and I'll continue to bring you guys into that. I was supposed to receive a call this afternoon. That has not happened yet, but as soon as I have further information on the next steps with the gel, we'll make sure to update you guys on that as well.